Cobra.
Y'all, I got some heavy shit on my heart tonight. Y'all might want to share this video. I got some heavy shit on my heart tonight. I can't even sleep. Hey, y'all. I'm just so heated right now. I had to just take several deep breaths because I'm so heated. I have a lot on my heart tonight. I'm just gonna go ahead and get straight into it. You wanna know what's sad? Y'all wanna know what's really fucking sad? A grown-ass woman denying her own child, her own children. That shit is sad as fuck. What's sad is watching a grown-ass woman justify her actions. A grown-ass woman justifying her actions as to why she left her child. Yo, this shit has me heated, y'all. Do you think that justification, do you think that explanation that you have is good enough for your child? No. Because guess what? Your child has to continue to wake up without you every fucking day. And you guys know I'm so passionate about this because that was me at one point in time. So it's sad as fuck to see a multiple grown-ass woman in that same position I was once in. Asleep as fuck. Getting on camera and trying to say they're teaching, you call it proclaiming the kingdom. You should be fucking ashamed of yourself because guess what? You're not getting on camera to teach us some shit. You're not. You're sitting there trying to justify your actions not for nobody else but yourself. You're trying to convince yourself that shit's okay, and it's not. Do you understand the reason why I feel as passionate as I do is because I was once in that position, and I wish I had somebody who could understand to tell me this. You sit there and you justify your actions, not because you're proclaiming the kingdom, not because you're doing the right thing. You're hurting inside. You're in so much pain. You dream about your kids every night, don't you? You have that motherly instinct that you cannot deny. But you know what? You're ridiculed for it. You're ridiculed every day for being a compassionate parent and mourning leaving your child. That part of you is shut down every single day you are at carbonation. You are told those aren't your kids. Those aren't your kids.
Cobra.
Your emotions are suppressed every day. You're not allowed to feel the pain of being separated from them. So you get on these cameras and you try to justify your actions so you can feel better about what you've done. So you can convince yourself. Because there's no convincing us. There's no convincing us. Do the right thing and follow your heart. Who gives a fuck who's telling you that shit's okay? I don't care if you think he's the Messiah. I don't give a fuck what you think he is. That is never okay. And you know what? You guys know I'm not perfect. And I had to go through the works as well. And it burns inside of me. It kills me. It's so fucking sad to see these grown-ass women get on camera and you can tell they're not speaking their heart. You can tell that that's not their truth. You could tell that they're just living out what someone else told them. You could tell that that's not what they truly wanted. And I know because I was there. I've been under that mindset. Separation's an illusion, right? That's not my child. She's me. This is a holographic universe. Yo, you're not telling us nothing we don't already know. But you know what? You take that shit too literally. Because that child of yours portaled through you and is your responsibility. Yes, that child is a reflection of you. Yes, I agree that separation is an illusion. But it is not to be taken in literal form. We don't just leave our children. We don't do that. That child is an expression of you, of God in its own form. It's still living out its own reality, his or her own reality. So you don't leave that child. You walk with that child.
Cobra.
That is your destiny. Because you know what? How dare you limit yourself into believing that there is no other way. You find a way. You figure it out. How dare you settle for less than giving those children the best as their mother? And I say this out of pure love. This is not to bash anybody. I love you guys. All the women of Carbonation. I have nothing but love. But it kills me in my heart. It gets me heated. It's so sad to sit and think that they're convincing us or trying to teach us or proclaim the kingdom of God. That's not good enough. Your child has to wake up every day without you. You are not making a difference. You think you getting on live every day is making it better? No. You're not doing anything. You're not changing anything. You actually are continuing this generational curse, so you would call it. There is no reason you should limit yourself into believing you have to leave your children in order to do the right thing. In order to live the truth. No. You figure it out. You're the creator of your reality, right? We are manifesting our lives every single second with every single thought. It is up to you to create what you want. Something that you will not settle for. And that's leaving your child. You figure it out. It ain't gonna be easy. What you did is you took the easy way out. I didn't want to deal with my family. I didn't want to this and that. Well, guess what? That's what it takes. When you have children, that's the oath you take when you have children. And you guys, like I said, you know I'm not perfect. I've been there where they're at. That's why it breaks my heart, because every single day I lived a lie. I allowed somebody else to tell me what was right, even though in my heart, every single day I was in pain. I cried every day. I tried to convince myself every day until I couldn't handle it anymore. And I said, why am I settling for this shit? Because somebody who says they're the fucking Messiah told me to? Who thinks leaving their own children is okay just because he did it? It's okay for me to do it? Nah. This shit got me so heated, y'all, I cannot even sleep. And I just wanted to get on here and express my emotions because I can't believe that believing in something and going down this path would ever drive me to leave my own child. And I do give myself for that because I've made up for it and I've woken up. It's never too late to wake up from your ignorance. And I feel so amazing and blessed every day to have her by my side. And I just pray to God that these women wake the fuck up. Because you getting on these cameras and proclaiming the kingdom and making videos for your children or whatnot is not okay. Those children are not going to understand. When I was at Carbonation, I got to hear Eligio on the phone with his kids a couple times. I got to hear him on... Hold on, my phone's dying. Plug it in so y'all don't lose me. So what I'm saying is I got to hear Eligio on the phone with his children a couple times while I was at Carbonation. And, you know, I was going through a very hard time while I was there because I couldn't handle being away from my little one. I couldn't handle it.
Cobra.
And you know what? When he would get on the phone with them, literally the disconnect between them was so major. There was just nothing there. There was no, oh my God, how are you doing? Or, I mean, these kids just, you could tell they're just so hurt. They're so lost. And it was sad to sit there and it was literally just his son on the phone playing video games while his dad's on the other line just sitting in pure silence. There was no, I love you, son. There was no positivity. There was like, literally, there was no emotion. And they just sat there in silence. And then he was like, all right, just give the phone to your mom. Like, they just had nothing to say to each other. If I had the opportunity to talk to my child while I was out there, I wouldn't be able to hold it together. And it goes to show you the level of parenting, the level of involvement that there's been between him and his children versus me and my child. And I when I saw that, it terrified me. I was like, I could never live with myself if I can't connect with my kid. And if there's just Literally nothing between us. Pure silence. Just don't, that child didn't even know what to say to him. It was one of his older kids, I don't know. But he didn't even have any words for his dad. And it's very sad. I'm very grateful that I didn't settle, because my life is moving in a direction that is more fulfilling for me and my daughter. I would never say, oh, I can't bring my daughter. Why would you settle for that? There's no excuse. There's no excuse. So,
Cobra.
that's just really been on my heart tonight. And I just can't even sleep. I was just like, you know what? Let me just go live, because, y'all, it's hitting me hard, you know? Every single day I was ridiculed for mentioning my daughter. I was ridiculed for even having the slightest bit of emotion towards leaving her. So I don't blame those women for feeling lost. I don't blame them, because I was there and I know what it's like. I don't even blame them. I guess you could say I have a lot of compassion. And I mean, this is just for all the women over there. Because when I was there, there was nobody else but me who had left behind a child. Aya came along, but she was never really in her child's life. You know, unlike me, I was in my kid's life all day, every day. I did everything for my kid. As y'all can see, I'm a great mom. This is how I've always been. Aya was never really in her child's life, so it wasn't like she left her son. Like, she already had left her son years and years before she came to Carbonation. Like, they weren't even really in each other's life like that. So none of these women could understand the pain I was experiencing. And just, I couldn't accept it. And I fought every day to hide that and to dumb down my emotions to the point where I was so disconnected. And I was living my life as if nothing was wrong with that. And it was okay. And guess what? I want to apologize. Because guess what? I made videos too. I made videos too, saying that shit's okay. Sitting there saying that that's not my kid. Separation's an illusion. Honey, you're preaching to the fucking choir. You're only trying to convince yourself. You don't truly believe that. You don't. I'm sorry, you don't.
Cobra.
And I live my life like everything was okay. And like I said, I want to apologize because I misguided people. And you know what? I sort of feel like me being so out there and trying to, I thought I was helping people. Hey, don't let anything hold you back. If you want to live this life, if you want to be a part of Carbonation, if you want to live the truth, you can do it. You don't have to let anything hold you back. That's why I left the system. Not my kid, the system. Dude, I was so fucking brainwashed. I'm gonna say that for y'all one time. I was. We all know this. And I want to apologize for misguiding anybody to believe that shit's okay. I'm not a good example. Don't fucking follow me. Don't listen to that. And now look, how many women are over there now that have kids that they left? I feel like I have some part in that because I once was there. And they once were in Babylon watching my videos, listening to me speak on my experience and how I left my kid and saying it's okay. So I feel like I influenced people in the wrong way, and I misguided a lot of people, and I want to apologize for that because that shit is not okay. But guess what? Just like they're doing, the only thing I was doing by getting on that camera was, number one, trying to convince myself that I've done the right thing, to not make myself feel so guilty, which it never worked. Number two, to gain validation from somebody I thought was greater than me. Because I was so insecure and low and powerless that I needed to make Natureboy happy, even if that meant I wasn't happy. Man, fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. How dare you try to justify? There ain't no justification. It don't matter. You can get on these cameras hours and hours on end trying to, you know, make people understand you. They're never gonna understand, because that shit ain't right. And I don't know about Eligio and his relationship he had with his kids, but it wasn't as easy for me to leave my kid as it was for him. Maybe that goes to show you what kind of parent he really is. Because guess what? You should never fucking settle for less than anything that you deserve. You should never settle. Like, if you can't bring your kids to the tropics to join carbonation, then figure out another way. Figure it out. Because it's possible. Anything is possible. Anything. The mind is powerful. Baby girl, the mind is so powerful. You are the creator of your reality. Carbonation is a mental fucking illness. Period. There's a lot of great knowledge that is spoken of, but that ain't it. That ain't it. There's so much more. There's a lot of holes in this shit. And I just really, really, really pray, all of us, everybody who's involved and who sees what's going on, we all pray that these women wake up. And I also want to thank those who may have been hard on me, but also wanted to just get me to wake up also. Even though I had to do it on my own terms, and I was very defensive about a lot of things while I was going through that, because I really thought I was living my truth. I really thought I was doing the right thing, or I had convinced myself that I was. I want to thank those who really reached out and were like, yo, wake up. What the fuck are you doing? You know what I mean? So that's pretty much all that I had on my heart. And I just think it's sad and heartbreaking, but at the same time, you have to accept people where they're at. And all you can do is get on your own platform and speak your truth and your experience and hope that that makes a difference in someone's life. So, period. I watched Natureboy for years before I left to go join him. I watched him for years. I conditioned myself for years to believe everything he stands for. I wasn't coming up with these conclusions on my own. I was allowing myself to be heavily influenced by somebody else. And while we can be inspired by other people, and we can take things from other people, we need to find that truth within ourselves. We need to go deep and figure out what's right for us. Because had I did that, had I thought things all the way through, I could have saved myself, my child, and my family a lot of pain and hurt. As I say that, I can't sit here and regret it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my life has greatly impacted a lot of people, and it has definitely, me going through that experience, really, just my life is 1,000 times better than it was before I went over there. So, I'm proud of myself. That's all I can say at the end of the day. And I literally could cry tears for these women. I saw a video of, I don't know her name, I think it's Malia. And she was on her live stream, and Natureboy was sitting there asking her, why are you here? And you could just hear it in her voice. She was so sad. She was trying to understand her emotions and why she missed her children, and she tried to justify it, and all I see is myself. You know what I'm saying? And it just breaks my heart. It does. And I know y'all feel me on that, because y'all all watch as well, and a lot of you seen what I went through, and I just, all I can do is share my experience and hope that they do the same, you know. You can always live the truth and create any reality you desire. That includes your kids. But let me tell you, carbonation ain't it. I'm sorry, and this is not me bashing nobody. This is really just like, come on. Like, y'all are limiting yourselves. Everybody that's a part of carbonation, you're limiting yourself. If you're swimming in a field of quantum possibilities, infinite possibilities, and you can choose any parallel reality that you decide, how the fuck is it ever okay to settle for not bringing your kids with you? You better reroute. You better figure it out. You better get your manifestation up. You better create that fucking reality for yourself. You better not settle for nothing. And that's where I see a lot of weakness, and yet vulnerability and desperation. Because I was once there. That's the state I was in when I joined carbonation. I joined for the knowledge, period. I joined for the knowledge. But as I sifted through that knowledge, and I saw how the knowledge was applied, that ain't it. That just ain't it. So, yeah. I mean, this isn't me just now realizing this. Obviously. You know, it's been about a year since I've left carbonation. And I've been knowing this. But I'm just now confident in myself, and I understand what I've been through.
Cobra.
I understand what I put myself through. Because I'm not putting the blame on nobody but me. I understand, and I have the confidence now to share that. Because I want to help people that are in my situation. You know. Happiness is our natural state of being. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. Joy, love, happiness, that's our natural state of being. And even though we may go through pain and struggle, lessons, It don't matter what your circumstances are. All that matters is your state of mind. And regardless of what you're going through, you can choose to be happy through it all. You guys, carbonation, you guys limit yourselves and you live in fear. You live in fear, period. And that's not gonna get you nowhere. That's not gonna get your children anywhere. You're hurting inside. You know damn well in your instinct as a mother that shit's not okay. And you miss your children every day, but guess what? You're not allowed to say that. You're not allowed to feel that way. You're ridiculed every day for being a fucking human being. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know how many times I got threatened to get kicked out, which I should have taken that ticket the first time I got kicked out. I should have taken that damn ticket and said, all right, bye. But I didn't know my worth at that time. But do you know how many times I got threatened to get kicked out the camp because I mentioned my daughter? Because I was upset and I missed my daughter. Do you know how many times I got yelled at? She's not your daughter. She's not your daughter. These women are going through that right now. And they're broken. Because I refuse to believe that any of those women are deadbeat parents. I refuse. I believe every single one of those women loved their kids and would kill for their kids. They feel like leaving their kids was a sacrifice for them. And I'm here to tell you, honey, no. No, that ain't it. It's funny how you sit on these cameras and y'all try to teach us something when you could really learn something from us. But you fail to listen. You call us trolls. You call us lost souls. You say that we're in our lower self. It sounds like you're talking about yourself. Because you don't have a clear recollection of what love is. What unconditional love is. And that's what we're here to do. We're here to be happy. Happiness is our natural state of being. We're here to have unconditional love. And my heart goes out to every single one of you. The women of carbonation. Shit, everyone in carbonation, because there's men that have left their children too, like my ex. And you know what? He has no emotion either. He told me a story that when he first got to carbonation, that he went through a lot of shit. He was very heartbroken, that he had left his kids. He was sad. He would dream about his kids. He was hurt that he had to leave his kids, that he felt like he had to leave his kids, because we know he didn't have to do that shit, but he felt like he had to do that, and he did that. And he was hurt by it, and he felt guilty for a long time. Hello? As you should feel fucking guilty. That's your natural instinct, not your lower self trying to drag you down, bro. That's your natural instinct to care for those children and to provide and protect those children, and you denied that. You put that in the back burner, and you suppressed that within yourself. So, he told me that he would miss his children all the time, and he would talk to Eligio about it, and Nature Boy would tell him, yo, man, it's gonna be alright. Like, I know it's hard. You're gonna be alright, man. Those aren't your kids. But those aren't your kids, though. You have to understand, blah, blah. And he was programmed to believe that those are literally not his kids. You know what he told me? Oh, you guys, maybe I shouldn't tell y'all this. Because this is fucked up, man. This is fucked up, bro. And this scared the living shit out of me when I joined Carbonation. When I joined Carbonation, I didn't want to leave my child, but I really thought I was doing the right thing, and whatever the fuck, I was just under that mindset, right? And what scared the living shit out of me is when I heard my ex say, you know, because I would talk to my ex a lot about leaving children behind, and I was asking him for help to cope with it, because he had left 2 children behind as well. And I figured, okay, well, maybe, you know, we can somehow cope together. He can help me through this. You know what he fucking told me? This heartless, ooh, man, I'm not gonna even call him out his name. Heartless, bro. Disconnected. In other words, just so cut the fuck off from reality. Literally the sunken place. That's all that is. The sunken place. If y'all seen that movie Get Out, you better go watch it, because it's Carbonation, baby. So, what he told me was, I asked him, because like I said, I'm trying to cope. Because I'm like, how the fuck is this okay? I'm trying to convince myself it's okay. Damn, I don't know. So I had a conversation with him. He said, or I asked him, I said, well, what do you think's gonna happen to them if you just up and left? And if I just up and left, well, what's gonna happen to them? Like, I'm gonna quote unquote this, okay? We saved ourselves, but how come we couldn't save them? Right? And I'm speaking from this brainwash, okay? If you guys can follow me. And I said, if we could save ourselves, how come we weren't able to save them? Like, what's gonna happen to our kids? And I asked him straight up, what do you think's gonna happen to your wife, your kids that you left behind? And he said, he's like, yo, it's sad, but they're gonna just die. They're all just gonna get killed off. They're all just gonna die off. And I was like, whoa, hold the fuck up. You're telling me you think just because they live in a system that you're against, that they're just gonna burn in hell, like they're gonna literally just die? And he was like, he's like, well, yeah, when the natural disasters hit, they're gonna be in the midst of chaos and they're just gonna die. I'm just like, yo, and I had to relate that to me and my child. I'm like, yo, no, like, and it scared the shit out of me, bro. I never let that go, because it's like, I could never be that disconnected to say, oh, I don't care if my children die. No, guess what? Nature Boy relates it to this. He says, some people, like, he relates what he's doing to slavery. Okay, and I want to go there with you guys. I want to open you up to his mind, because I've known him for a long time, and I've listened to him for a long time, and I want you to understand that when he says he relates what he's doing to slavery, and he says some people leave the what's it called? A plantation? Is that what it's called? I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know. But some people leave the plantation, even if that means leaving their children behind. It's a sacrifice. And that's what carbonation is. But other people would rather stay on the plantation with their kids and live a lie and live in the, chaos or whatever he calls it. You know what I'm saying? And live dumb, deaf, and blind. Like, hey, I'm okay with being a slave. Fuck it. I'm just gonna be here because my kids. And he relates it to that. You know what I'm saying? Guess what? I'ma fight till the end for my kid. The fuck? I'm gonna fight to the end for my kid. I'm gonna protect and defend my kid at all costs. And anybody who's disconnected with their natural instinct, they're living with a mental fucking illness, bro. And so when he said that to me, I was very hurt because I realized, damn. And the longer I stayed at Carbonation, the more I realized, damn, how are these people so disconnected? How do they really not give a fuck about their own damn kids? And I never could vibe with that. I got in so much trouble, bro, for thinking about my kid all the time. Like, there were times where Nature Boy would be like we would just be you know, we would just be going about our day and stuff, and he would look at me and be like, yo, what's wrong with you? You're thinking about your daughter again, aren't you? Let that shit go. She's not your kid. You know, and he would just go into the knowledge and, man, whatever he had to tell himself to make him leave his own kids. You know, and he's conditioning the minds of many others to do the same, and that's not okay. I don't care how much knowledge you have, or how much of a message you're here to bring, or how much someone is feeling what you're saying. They should be smart enough to know that that is not okay. That's like a big loophole in that shit. Like, you want us to leave our children, then come have children where you're at? Nah, I'm good on that. You know. So, I was really scared. I was scared as hell. Like, am I gonna end up like this? Like, the longer I stay here, am I just gonna get super disconnected, like, emotionally? And, like, am I gonna deny my own kid? Like, you know what I mean? And, I'm glad I got a strong spirit, man, because my energy was fighting against that way every single day. And I finally was like, I've had enough. I'm going to get my baby. You know what I'm saying? I know this live is probably all over the place, man, but I just wanted to express what was on my heart tonight, because I was heated watching these videos. Like, I have so much love. And I just want to help people. But like I said before, you know, it don't matter how many people told me the truth while I was in the sunken place. I had to get out of there myself. And, you know, these women are where they're at. And all I can do is share my experience and say what I gotta say about it, because I was right there where they're at. And that's it, you know? All I can do is see what happens, and hopefully they wake up. And, you know, I just hope the best for their children. And if I could say one thing to them, to all of Carbonation, I would say, fuck what you want to say. Fuck what you want to say. Fuck what you think is the right thing to say. What is your heart telling you? Find that voice within you that's crying to come out. What is that voice telling you to do? And when you find that, follow that shit. And that's all I would say, because that's what it took for me. It took me being like, yo, I'm a fake as fuck. I'm such a fraud. Like, I'm sitting here repeating what Natureboy has said for years. All I'm doing is speaking his mind. And I realized that, you know, when I would do videos, it wasn't authentic. And I wanted to come off authentic because that's just who I am. I always want to be myself. Like, I've always had a strong sense of who I am. I've always had a strong, you know, just authenticity about myself. You know what I mean? I really have. And I've had a lot of confidence always throughout my whole life. And I couldn't find that there. No matter what, I just couldn't find that there. And I realized that, you know, I was getting ridiculed again for putting out videos that just didn't seem authentic. And in my mind, I'm like, yo, it's because all I'm doing is speaking his mind. I'm not finding that within myself. Obviously, this is not resonating with who I am. And no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't put the message in my own words. I couldn't feel it. He always would say, yo, speak from your heart. Let the message pour out of you. Well, honey, that shit never happened. So obviously it just did not resonate with me. It didn't resonate with me. And I wanted to get on camera and talk about me leaving my child, but it didn't make any sense to me. You know, I was also, and I was not, I guess you could say pressured. You know, he would always say, yo, if you're going through something, you should get on camera and expose that to the public, because that's going to help you heal. That's not true for everybody. That's just not, that might be true for you, which is why you look crazy as fuck to people online, because one day you're this, one day you're that. But that's not true for everybody. So, but I was pressured into doing that because I'm like, okay, well, maybe that will help. Maybe if I just express how I'm feeling to the world, that'll make me feel better. It never worked. It never worked because I was lying to myself. You know what I mean? So I had to get out of there. I just had to get out of there, and I'm really fucking glad I did. I'm so glad I did. I'm happy as a motherfucker. My child's happy. Like, we are living a great life. Our life is going in a direction that is unbelievable, and it's because I decided to take a couple steps backwards in order to move forward in my life. Because a lot of people that are in carbonation, when they see someone leave carbonation, they look down on them. They're like, huh, look at this motherfucker going back to his lower self. Look at her, she gonna go back to Babylon. You don't know what the fuck where is going on with us. You don't know what the future holds. You don't know what we're manifesting every day in our life. You don't know where we're going. What you need to ask is, where the fuck are you going? Where are you taking your life? Why are you worried about the next person? The next person's doing what they feel is right to do in their heart. And guess what? I didn't want to settle for that shit. And I didn't want to settle for that shit. What? You say, oh, that's not my kid. Oh, I have to leave my kid. No, I ain't settling. I ain't going for that. I'ma figure it out. I'ma find another way to live the life I truly want to live with my child. And how dare you call yourself a fucking master or a fucking disciple, a fucking leader at all, or spiritual at that. Spiritual, if you don't know the basics. How can you call yourself a spiritual being when you live in so much fear? Do y'all know about the scale of enlightenment? I wish I had the picture. I would pull it up for y'all right now. But the scale of enlightenment starts at the bottom. And it's because everything's energy. All of our emotions create an energy behind them. There's an emotion behind our energy, right? So if you're vibrating at a low frequency, that correlates to anger or guilt or shame or You know what I mean? Certain emotions. And as you elevate your emotions, you elevate your frequency, the energy you're emitting, right? So so the more fear-based you're thinking, the more low of a vibration you are vibrating at. The more love you are feeling and projecting, the more understanding and acceptance, the more pure you are. That is a higher vibration, and we all see it. Anybody who sees it from the outside knows carbonation is vibrating at a very low frequency. Y'all might got some high vibe knowledge, but are you living it? Or are you missing the foundation of what true spirituality is? Which is love, which is to be happy. You're telling people that we're not here to be happy, bro? We're here to experience pain and suffering. Well, guess what? Guess what your life's gonna be? Because you said it, so it is. Your life's gonna be nothing but pain and suffering because you said so. You're the creator of your reality, period. Are we just gonna omit the law of attraction here? You sit there and you say the mind is so powerful, but then you go and you say shit like that. So, nah, that shit ain't it, and I'm not going for it. And I'm so happy that my spirit is strong enough, and I got a greater force looking out for me and guided me to the right direction. I followed my heart. I felt confused knowledge. Thank you, Inspector Gadget. Confused knowledge. That's a fact. So, whoo, guys, whoo! I mean, it feels great to be awake, you know what I mean? Like, I feel fucking great. I get so sad when I see these people in the position I was in, but like I said, I accept it. They are where they're at, you know what I'm saying? And all we can do is continue what we've been doing. Spreading awareness, you know what I'm saying? And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And I want to say this before I go. I just want to say a lot of you seen me make videos or do interviews, and I'm all over the place. I'm all fucking over the place. I know. I didn't want to admit that shit was wrong. I didn't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I didn't want to hurt Nature Boy's feelings. I wanted to believe he was really my friend. I didn't want to admit to the world that I had failed, that I had made a huge mistake. I just didn't want to, yo. I had a lot of pride, and I've worked through that. I have. This last month has really shown me a lot. I learned a lot in this last month. A lot has been revealed to me. I've been praying for answers. I've been praying for clarity. As you know, actually, maybe y'all don't know, but I am a very spiritual person. Very, very. I practice Kundalini yoga, and for those of you who know what Kundalini yoga is, you already know the vibes. Like, I am very in tune and with myself, and I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly searching. I'm going within, and I'm finding the answers, and I'm being guided to the right thing. I am constantly choosing love and happiness to guide me and to be present in my everyday life, living in the moment. Kundalini yoga, I'm definitely going to be teaching a lot of this specific practice, because I'm not even going to get into it. I could say so much, and I'm not trying to get off topic, but just stay tuned, because I'm going to do like legit YouTube videos about it, because it is literally the yoga of awareness, and it will open you up to your truth, and it will open you up to endless possibilities, and will allow you to live in the flow of love. And I mean, it's so beautiful, and I've been practicing it for like 6-7 years. So I definitely want to teach you guys that. But like I said, through that practice and just through my just taking one day at a time. I've really processed a lot. I've learned a lot. I've accepted that, hey, you don't need to sugarcoat nothing. I did a lot of sugarcoating. Like, it was just, I was lost, and I spoke prematurely, and I was a mess, you know what I'm saying? And I see things for what they are now. I stand on what I stand on, and it's not all positive and it's not all negative. You know what I'm saying? It's just me. And, you know, with all that being said, I appreciate all you in the room who film me. And maybe, I don't know, should I open another live for y'all to come in and ask questions, or should we call it a night? Y'all let me know who's rocking with me before I go. It's hot now. I appreciate all the love and support. It's so unreal, you know. I feel better. Like earlier I said I wasn't able to sleep and shit, but now that I got that off my chest, I feel really good. I feel at peace. I feel a weight lifted off.